They heard me say it. I said that. If I was on there, I said that.
Turn around, please. You did not.
Shekinah, you stopped them, and I said the same. You asked me, do you think I'm happier that you asked me the question and I answered it? So why would you sit there and say that?
Because I am happy.
But why would you sit there and say that I ain't say that?
Because you didn't.
I think she's happy. Yes, I did.
It wasn't loud and clear.
Tell me. Yeah? Tell me what's going on right there. What's going on?
Imagine waking up one morning to find your entire world a glittering empire of music, fame, and what looked like unbreakable love reduced to ashes by a single hidden truth. That's the nightmare that gripped Atlanta, turning a hip-hop legend's life into a whirlwind of betrayal that no one saw coming. It wasn't just another tabloid rumor. This was the kind of scandal that hooks you from the start, making you question everything about trust, loyalty, and the dark side of power. What if the person you built your dreams with was hiding a secret big enough to destroy it all? Stick around, because this story unfolds like a thriller you can't pause. It all sparked from the shadows of the internet, where secrets have a way of slipping out and spreading like wildfire. Whispers started online about a woman named Shekinah, caught in a web of allegations that she was carrying a child, and not from some stranger, but from the man everyone knew as the King of the South, Clifford Harris, or T.I. as the world called him. Fans who'd followed his journey, from street hustler to rap icon, felt the ground shift. This wasn't idle chatter. Leaked files began pouring in, medical notes, private messages, even fuzzy audio snippets that painted a picture too vivid to ignore. Social media lit up, with people tagging furiously, demanding to know if the fairy tale marriage to Tiny was just a facade. You can almost feel the tension building, right? Tiny, who'd stood by his side through thick and thin, didn't stay silent. She faced the cameras with a mix of heartbreak and fire, pushing for the one thing that could cut through the noise: proof. It was like watching a close friend stand up for herself, her voice steady despite the cracks, saying she and her family needed the real story, no more games. That moment turned the whispers into a roar, pulling everyone deeper into the mystery. Why would someone leak this now? Was it revenge, or just the truth bubbling up after years of being buried? But hold on, because the layers peeled back even further when those medical details surfaced. They weren't vague, they pinpointed dates that matched T.I.'s schedule down to a hotel stay in Atlanta, making it impossible to brush off as coincidence. The city held its breath. Journalists scrambled, influencers dissected every angle, and fans grieved like they lost something personal. Tiny, overwhelmed by it all, reportedly buckled under the pressure during a heated family moment, collapsing as the weight hit her. Meanwhile, T.I.'s online presence vanished, no updates, no defenses, just eerie quiet that screamed guilt to the world. If you were scrolling through that chaos, wouldn't you wonder, is silence an admission, or a strategy? Just when it felt like the fire might simmer, a shadowy figure stepped forward with more ammunition: screenshots of chats, where Shekinah allegedly confided to a friend that the truth could cost T.I. everything. His marriage, his career, the empire he'd clawed his way to build. Online debates raged hotter than ever. Was Shekinah the schemer who tore apart a home, or a woman tangled in a love that promised more than it delivered? The Harris family, once a symbol of resilience, now looked like it was fracturing in slow motion, and no one could look away. What do you think? Could a few messages really topple a dynasty? Or was this just the tip of something deeper? The storm hit its peak in the most dramatic arena imaginable, a courtroom packed with tension thicker than fog. Picture the scene: paparazzi flashing outside, crowds chanting for justice, signs waving like battle flags. Inside, Tiny sat resolute, her face a mask of quiet determination amid the whispers. Shekinah entered next, a mix of nerves and resolve etched on her features. And then T.I., the once unflappable leader, looking worn and trapped. The judge's words hung in the air, naming the case, a battle over DNA, trust, and the ruins of a life together. This wasn't private anymore. It was a spectacle, with the world tuning in to see if the king would crumble. As evidence piled up, the room turned electric. Reporters jotted notes like their lives depended on it, while onlookers leaned in, hearts pounding. Then came the audio, a scratchy recording that allegedly captured T.I.'s voice, soothing promises that twisted the knife deeper. The gallery gasped. Tiny's reaction was visceral, her body trembling as the betrayal sank in. She rose, her words cutting through the silence like a blade, accusations of destruction, of shattering their family. In that instant, she fainted into loved one's arms, sobs echoing as cameras captured the raw agony. It was the kind of moment that makes your stomach drop. Pure Unfiltered pain that resonated with anyone who's ever felt deceived. Outside, Atlanta exploded into frenzy. Protesters clashed with words and signs, some demanding accountability, others hurling blame at Shekinah. The streets pulsed with energy. News crews broadcasting live as social media flooded with reactions, tears, memes, debates that kept everyone glued. But the real earthquake, the DNA reveal. The clerk's voice trembled as he read the results. Confirmation. 99.9% certainty that T.I was the father. Chaos erupted, Tiny's cry piercing the air, questioning why, how he could do this to them. Shekinah broke too, claiming she never meant for this, that promises had been made. The courtroom descended into pandemonium, with shouts, thrown objects, and a judge's gavel lost in the noise. If this were happening in your circle, be honest, would you side with the heartbroken partner, or see shades of gray in the mess? The fallout spread like ripples in a pond-turned tsunami. News outlets dubbed it the ultimate hip-hop betrayal. Late-night shows dissected it, and online, T.I faced a digital lynching. A leaked clip surfaced days later, showing him allegedly joking with buddies about Tiny's loyalty, dismissing the drama with arrogance that only fueled the fire. Labels distanced themselves with chilly statements, deals evaporated, and his once loyal circle thinned out. Overnight, millions in opportunities vanished, leaving his empire bleeding, yet, in the ashes, Tiny rose like a force of nature. Her statement to the world wasn't defeat. It was defiance, vowing to rebuild and ensure her kids knew the full story. Fans rallied, camping with signs of solidarity, turning her into a beacon of strength. She wasn't just a side character anymore, she was the hero reclaiming her narrative. Her pain transforming into power that inspired women everywhere. Rumors flew of a tell-all book, exposing years of hidden truths. And talk shows lined up to hear her voice. The more she spoke, the stronger she seemed, overshadowing the man who'd caused the hurt. Shekinah's path, though, twisted into darkness. Hate poured in threats online, crowds outside her door, venom that made everyday life a nightmare. She went live, tears streaming, insisting she was lied to. Promised love and a future away from the shadows. But the court of public opinion had ruled. She was the intruder, the one who sparked the blaze. Fair or not, whispers said she might flee the city, change her identity to escape the storm that followed her like a curse. In one vulnerable moment, she admitted the isolation, the fear of stepping outside. Her story faded, but the scars lingered. A reminder that getting caught in someone else's web rarely ends well. The final nail. The divorce papers. Tiny filed, seeking not just separation, but justice, custody, a share of the wealth, compensation for the emotional wreckage. Paparazzi snapped her leaving court, sunglasses hiding the toll. Kids by her side in a poignant image that screamed resilience. By then, the Harris legacy was in tatters, T.I isolated in his grand home. Drowning in threats and regrets, his crown slipped away. Atlanta, the city that once crowned him, now murmured his name with pity or disdain. Tiny emerged as the survivor queen, her strength forging a new chapter. Shekinah vanished into obscurity, paying a steep price. But here's the haunting part, this wasn't isolated. Rumors hinted at lost fortunes, over $30 million gone in the blink. Speculation grew about more revelations, perhaps in Tiny's memoir, peeling back layers of deceit long buried. The family that once shone on reality screens became a cautionary tale, how lies can erode even the sturdiest foundations. People debated everywhere, was this the biggest fall in music history? Should forgiveness ever enter the picture? Celebrities chimed in, some backing Tiny, others steering clear of the toxicity. What makes it stick with you is the human core, Tiny's tears symbolizing every unspoken hurt. Shekinah's regret showing the cost of forbidden paths. T.I.'s silence proving that power without accountability crumbles. Atlanta felt changed, its vibe shifted by the fallout. As the dust settled, one question lingered: can ruins like this ever rebuild? Or is some damage eternal? Sometimes truth doesn't heal. It scorches, leaving echoes that fade but never fully disappear. If you've stuck through this roller coaster, you're a true mystery chaser. Prove it by hitting that like button. What side are you on in this saga? Drop your take in the comments and spot the hidden twist I slipped in. First to nail it gets pinned next time. This betrayal's echoes might not be oversubscribed now, because the next video dives into an even darker unraveling. You won't want to miss what comes when empires truly fall.